So chapter 7 of Bhagavad Gita is called as, in Sanskrit, it is called as Jnana Vijnana Yoga. Okay, and it is being translated as knowledge of absolute. Let's see what is this all about. How did the chapter 6 end? The chapter 6 ends with Krishna stating, so chapter 7 of Bhagavad Gita is called as, in sorry. I hope everybody is able to see my screen. Sorry. Okay. So, Shri Radha Govinda of ISKCON Mangalore welcomes you all for yet another session of Bhagavad Gita. And let us pay our obeisances to Shri Radha Govinda so that we learn this knowledge in the right sense, in the right context, and in the right mood, so that we don't misinterpret anything. Going forward, chapter 6 of Bhagavad Gita is the Ashtanga Yoga, where we saw different stages of yoga. And then Krishna talks about controlling the mind and then destination of an unsuccessful yogi. And he concluded with the verse, who is the topmost yogi? Who is the topmost yogi? Yoginam api sarvesham madgate antaratmana. Whoever thinks of me, dwells in me, and performs the action on thinking of me, then I consider that person to be a greatest of all yogi. So that's how Krishna concluded the chapter. In chapter 7, there are multiple sections. Let's see one by one. Okay, like said, Krishna concluded the chapter 6 saying, Yoginam api sarvesham, right? A yogi who always thinks of him in devotion. Who is considered as the best of yogi? In devotion, not just just like that thinking, oh, Krishna is having fun. No. Whoever thinks Krishna of with devotion, concentrate on him in full faith. Okay, that's how the chapter 6 concluded. And chapter 7 is going to elaborate on this. So, how can we think on someone and we be devoted to them without really knowing who that person is? So, Krishna is going to elaborate details about him. Like, how is it easy for us to think about him? Why we have to first think about him, right? We don't normally think about every Tom, Dick, and Harry, correct? Say, for family members, we think about our whoever is very close to us, right? Whether it can be parents or the spouse or the children. We think about them. Why do we think about them? Because we know about them completely and we are more affectionate towards them. So, in order to be a best yogi, okay, Krishna has already described the definition of a best yogi who always think about him. So, how do we know about Krishna? First, we should know about Krishna, correct? Only then we have to come to a conclusion. Yes, it is worth thinking about him. You know, it is a paradigm change. All these years we have been so focused in our material life, and all of a sudden today we learned that only we have to think about Krishna, we have to dedicate our work towards Krishna, and we have to have full faith in Krishna. How do we develop that? First, this chapter will lay the foundation of it. Just like we construct a building, right? We might see a very tall building, a skyscraper building, okay? Only that will be visible to our eyes. But what is not visible is the foundation. Only when the foundation is very, very strong, we can build however tall the building it could sustain, correct? If the foundation is very weak, we have seen many scenarios, right? Many buildings have collapsed. No, correct? So it's very important to build a foundation. So from this chapter onwards, Krishna is going to build a foundation of who Krishna is really about. And is it really worth thinking about him all the time? We don't want to just dedicate our entire life thinking about someone who is not of worthy or value, right? So this will be acting as a foundation. So Krishna is going to explain about knowledge of absolute. He begins with the process of hearing, the way of acquiring knowledge by descending process as the only process. We will learn this is how the chapter is going to open up. He is going to describe about the process of hearing. Knowing Krishna by the process of hearing about him, knowing Krishna as a source of matter and spirit, knowing Krishna controls the mode of material nature. The impious never surrender to pious, surrendering to demigods and impersonalism, bewilderment of living entities, and freedom from knowing Krishna. These are all the different sections. So don't get too much blocked by it. These are all the different sections which we are going to see in this chapter. But the basis is we will know more about Krishna as we start progressing from this chapter. And why do we have to know more about Krishna? So that it is easy for us to always think about him. We always think about our closed one, near and dear ones, because we know about them completely. I always go back to this parent-children mode because I can easily relate. See, parents know, even children does not know. Many times children would have asked, right? Oh, how is that you know about it? When children was trying to tell us something, we would already predict what the answer is, what they would have done, what they like. How do the parents know about it? Because since early stage, parents know the behavior, the character, the likes and dislikes. Parents know everything because they are totally connected to it. And we in the material world, we are disconnected from Krishna time immemorial. Somebody have to revive this connection, correct? So that is how this chapter is going to help us to revive. And by reading these scriptures, it will help us to bring back. Though it is not possible overnight, that's why the sadhana process is going to help us. So unless we know about a person, it is practically impossible for us to dedicate our entire life for the service. We are dedicating our life to our close family members, right? Because we know about them. So let's start to know more about Krishna. Okay, first section is knowing Krishna in full by hearing about him. What is it Krishna trying to say? Shri Bhagavan Vacha Maya Saktamanah Partha Yogam Yunjanmadashrayah Asamshayam Samagram Mam Yata Jnasyasi Tashrunu. Okay, so Tach Shrunu. This is a very important word. What is Krishna trying to say? Maya Saktamanah Partha. Okay, with my mind attached to me. You can know me in full. How? Yata jnasasi tashrunu. Hear Arjuna. So, hear about him. So, say for example, we want to travel some new different place. First of all, how do we get that? We say we are going to travel for some picnic, some vacation spot, correct? How do we decide on a particular spot? We would have heard about it or read about it, or somehow we would have got that information that, say for example, if it is Ooty or whatever the hill station place, right? We would have heard so much about it. And on hearing about it repeatedly, we would have developed the affinity towards visiting the place. We would have developed this interest. And what is the next step we do? Then we will see, okay, now I would like to go there. What should I do to go there? So we will start collecting tickets, and then we will start also getting some information on where to stay, what to eat, what to do, correct? We try to get this information from the people who already know about it, or we just nowadays we start Googling because somebody would have already been there, they would have put that information, correct? So only by hearing it is easy to get this information. But in Ishopanishad, when we go to level 3, okay, when we go to level 3, it describes that there are 3 ways of getting knowledge. Okay, that is called as pramana. Okay, one is pratyaksha praman, one is anumanta praman, and next one is shabda praman. Okay, pratyaksha means direct evidence. It's like I am it. I can see it, what is happening. So it is visible to my eyes. So I come to a conclusion because I know what is happening. So with that, I gain knowledge. That is called as pratyaksha praman. And anumanta praman is gaining knowledge through detection. Okay, it would have happened like this, so it would have happened. So by getting so much of information, we come to a conclusion. It is like doing some speculating. After some speculation, okay, he would have done that, he would have done that. From that, say for example, say grandparents are there, right? After some point of time, grandparents would have disappeared, then father, then our generation, and next is our next generation. So we would have eventually come to a conclusion. Okay, one day great parents would have disappeared, and then grandparents disappeared, next the parents, and then that's how we come to a conclusion. So this is how we gain knowledge. Like eventually we come to a conclusion after seeing some things. Okay, that is some conclusion, getting some conclusion and gaining some knowledge. This is called Anumanta Praman. Third one is Shabda Praman. Shabda means sound. So Shabda refers to hearing. So we gain knowledge through hearing. And Acharyas have elaborately there is one of the Goswamis, named as Jiva Goswami. What he did was he wrote Sandarbha, Shat Chandarbha. Okay, so in that Shat Chandarbha, he would have easily interpreted how Bhagavatam clearly explains who is the absolute truth, and Bhagavatam has answers to everything. So in order to prove that, one of the thesis is called as Tattva Sandarbha. So, okay, in Tattva Sandarbha, he would have elaborately described like why out of many pramanas, Shabda Pramana is considered to be the best because it is aparushya. Okay, so it is on the knowledge that is coming from the Vedas. So we don't have to do mental speculation. Sometimes what we see, there is also a proverb in my native language, right? Don't just believe what you see, go and inquire and try to get that right knowledge, because sometimes our eyes are also deceptive. Our human beings have come with four shortcomings. Okay, in that we are also illusion, we are people also cheat, so our eyes are also deceptive. So just by seeing we can't come to a conclusion. So it says Shabda Praman is the best source of gaining knowledge. So Krishna is also trying to hear. Okay, that is how we gain knowledge, and this is the right source of knowledge. Other pramanas are not so authentic, and because there is a chance of misguiding the people who are gaining knowledge through it. So tata tat shrinu. So Krishna is going to say, okay Arjuna, now hear what I am trying to say. Okay, how by practicing yoga and full conscious of me with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt. So Krishna is going to give the answers, because last chapter in 47th verse, he said, whoever is focusing on me with mind attached to me, who is devoted to me, I'm considered him the best. So how do we do that? Krishna is going to explain it in the coming verses. So here it is going to say, just going to elaborate on what we just discussed. So Lord Krishna is absolute truth, and he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Krishna can be realized in Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. Okay. Vadantitas Tattvavidhi. This is described also in Bhagavatam. Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavaniti, Shabdaya. So Bhagavan, the Supreme Absolute Truth, can be realized in three different forms. That is through Brahman, which is through the effulgence, and Paramatma, the localized God, and the Bhagavan, who is the Supreme, who has the real form. Okay, not just Bhagavan is a complete realization. Okay, the living entity or the spirit soul can realize this through different yoga process, can come to this realization of what? Absolute truth. The living entity can realize through yoga process, because yoga is a process of connecting to the Supreme. Okay, and through this he is capable of elevating. once, how does the yoga process is going to help? It will help us to elevate in the self-realization. What are all the different forms of yoga? We saw Jnana Yoga. And what is the destination of Jnana Yoga? With the Brahman effulgence. Okay. And Ashtanga Yoga is Paramatma realization. And Bhakti Yoga is the Bhagavan realization. But these two, Brahman realization and the Paramatma realization, are partial. Okay, they will not give us the complete. Like we described, sunshine, okay, and also sun disk. We have seen it in chapter 2, verse 1, where Srila Prabhupada would have elaborately discussed on this. If anybody did not get a chance to read the purport, I request them to kindly go and read the purport, where Prabhupada would have elaborately discussed on this. So, in a nutshell, see, we can see a sunshine, but that is not the entire thing, correct? We know if the sun comes out through the sunshine, we can just see it is just like an effulgence, okay? And further going down, we see that no, sun is a planet, it has a disk. Okay, and if somebody comes to this realization, it has been mapped to like Paramatma realization. But when somebody enters into the sun planet and see the sun god himself, because they are seeing the personal form of that sun god, okay, and that is called as Bhagavan realization. Okay, and this is the complete realization, because only in this Bhagavan realization, the whoever experience it, they will be able to have some relationship, some personal contact. What can you really do when you are in effulgence, right? There is no seva. Okay, even same here in Paramatma. Paramatma is, we will read in chapter 3, it is Upadrishta Anumanta. He is observer and perceiver. It is not very easy to establish some personal relationship. And how can we establish personal relationship? Only by realizing Bhagavan. And that is possible only through the bhakti process. What is that? Concentrating and focusing the mind on Krishna. Okay. Engage in 9 process of devotional service, beginning with hearing from Lord Krishna. We will see what is this 9 process of devotional service. Okay. By constant hearing, what happens by constant hearing? Shrunvatam Shrukata Krishna. Okay. Hidayas Stroni Badrani. Bhagavatam describe whoever is listening to Krishna, Krishna Katha, Krishna's pastime, name, fame, pastimes, and form. What happens? Like I always said, the Paramatma inside us will purify, because when Krishna enters one through the ears, the Paramatma will purify them, and he will come out of the anarthas. Devotee develop transcendental knowledge and becomes fixed in devotional service, frees from mode of passion and ignorance and lust and greed. Impurities are wiped, and he is then situated in a pure consciousness, becomes enlivened in devotional service, understands the science of Krishna's perfectly, complete knowledge of absolute truth. So, how does one gain the complete knowledge of absolute truth through Bhagavan? Through all these processes. So once this starts, then eventually he will get free, purified, and he will be able to fix in this devotional process, and he will be able to understand. And once he is able to understand, he will be in complete knowledge of absolute truth. Hence, Bhagavan realization is considered to be the best. Okay, and in Bhagavatam, Prahlad Maharaj, we know, right? Who is Prahlad Maharaj? He is a son of the demon Hiranyakashipu. Okay, and when he was asked, what did you learn in your school? Prahlad Maharaj says, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnum Smaranam Pada Sevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakyam Atmani Vedanam. So this is the 9 devotional process which will help us to elevate. Okay, and there are many great personalities who have perfected even one. Okay, Shravanam means what? Hearing. Okay, and the best example is Parikshit Maharaj. What happened? When Parikshit Maharaj, he was having just 7 days to live, he heard from Shukdev Goswami, the Bhagavatam, and he perfected this concept of hearing, and he was able to perfect the life and go to Godhead. Okay, so that is Shravanam. Kirtanam, and the Kirtanam example is Sukadev Goswami. Okay, what did Sukadev Goswami say? He was the person who explained the Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj. So when somebody is trying to explain, right, he will be completely engrossed because he has to focus that whatever he is uttering is right, and he is not misinterpreting the things, which means he will be in always connection with the right thing. So he will be totally into Krishna consciousness. So Sukhdev Goswami perfected. And remembering who was the example is Prahlad Maharaj, Smaranam. Okay, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam. So Prahlad Maharaj wasn't always thinking about Krishna. Whatever happened, even he was about to throw down from the top of the hill or he was asked to sit, and then when there were so many snakes around him, or when he was asked to sit where there was a fire. Okay, in all the process, whatever it might be, good or bad, so he was always thinking about Krishna, and that's how Prahlad Maharaj perfected. Pada Sevanam example is Lakshmi Devi. Okay, Lakshmi Devi is always engaged in the service of the Lord. She will always massage the lotus feet of the Lord. So that's here. Lakshmi Devi is the example. And Archanam. Archanam is worshipping. Mahaprabhu Maharaj is an example of always performing the worship to the Supreme Lord. And Vandanam is paying obeisances. And Akrura. You know what happened? When Akrura was actually the one of the court member of Kamsa. Okay, and Kamsa, what did he do? He sent so many demons to destroy Krishna, but Krishna just like that wiped out everybody. And then finally Kamsa came with the plan of sending Akrura, because Akrura, he knows that Akrura is a great devotee, so Krishna will not say no. And when Akrura entered the Vrindavan, the very first thing he did was he paid obeisance to the Vrajabhumi. Okay, because that is the holy place where Krishna spent the time so far, and he walked on this, and he had all his pastimes. So Akrura paid obeisances. Okay, and Akrura is the example of a perfect devotee. And Dasyam, none another, and Hanuman. We have all known so many stories how Hanuman is a perfect servitor. And Sakyam is friendship. Is best example is Arjuna. Atmanivedanam. Atmanivedanam is complete surrender. And who gave complete surrender? It's Bali Maharaj. Okay, that is the pastime of the Bali Maharaj. And on Vamanadev. So Bali Maharaj, he decided. Vamanadev asked 3 steps of land, and for the 3rd step, Vamanadev did not have anything. So what did Bali Maharaj offer? He offered himself. It is the highest state of the devotional service. Okay, and there is one person who did all this 10. That was Ambarish Maharaj. Okay, this keeps coming as we request you to learn this, and also keep this in your thoughts, because this will keep coming back and forth. Shravanam Kirtanam is a very, very important verse, and this keeps coming as we progress in our devotional journey, because the Acharya says, even if you are not able to do all the 9, at least do one. Perfect one. Even by perfecting one process of devotional service, we can attain the destination. We can make our life successful. So pick up whatever that suits you, whatever that is comfortable for you, pick that up and then try to perfect it. So that's why everything starts with what? Shravana, the hearing process. So that is the verse 1 is trying to say, third, Tachrunu. Okay, Arjuna, now you listen to me. Going forward, Jnanam teham savijnanam idam vakshyam asheshatah yajñatvaneha bhuyon yaj jñatvam avashishyate. I shall now declare unto you in full this knowledge, both phenomenal and numinous, by knowing which there shall remain nothing further to be known. So don't worry, Arjuna, I will describe to you everything. And not just phenomenon, okay? I will describe to you both the concepts. So knowing which, you will not have any doubts and you will come to a full conclusion what I am trying to say. What is this full both the things, Jnanam and Vijnanam. So that's why this chapter is named as Jnana Vijnana Yoga. Okay, so the complete knowledge of, that is the transcendental knowledge, can be learned through Jnanam, which is the phenomenal knowledge acquired or perceived by senses. Seeing object as it is appearing to our senses. Okay, and numinous, knowledge about spirit, not required through senses, object as it is, not necessarily perceived by senses. What does it mean? Phenomenon is seeing object as it appearing to us. We will see further. Say if we see a water, what does we know about it? What do we think about it? Okay, and the spirit, no, spirit in the sense soul. Soul is really not visible to our eyes, but still this is like the Sankhya Yoga, Vijnan. So Krishna is going to explain both the things. Okay, what does it mean? Seeing object as we can perceive through our senses, and seeing objects as a Krishna's energy. So whatever that it cannot be perceived through our senses, we will see it as Krishna's energy. Okay, and both are being controlled by Krishna. Lord Krishna explained to Arjuna the qualifications. Okay, and why does Krishna picks Arjuna? Because Arjuna is a devotee and Arjuna is also a friend. We saw in verse 4.3, and Krishna will also repeat in when we go to chapter 9, because just like that, Krishna is not ready to share this knowledge. Okay, not to anyone who are envious, who are doubtful. No, even those people, they won't be able to come to this chapter to understand. So you have all done many credits so that now you are able to sit through the class and then understand, means definitely you have done some credits. So keep continuing it as we progress further. Okay, so Krishna is going to explain he is the cause of all cause, he is the source of all knowledge, only object of meditation. So because of this, he is the only object of meditation, because he is everything. So why do we have to meditate on somebody else who is not worthy of meditation? Correct? Today we have someone as our partner, today we have, but next life we don't know who are we going to be. We don't know whether we are going to get a human life or not. So I'm not saying don't think about the partner, but try to see them in connection with the Supreme, because he is the cause of all cause and he is the source of all knowledge. So who is the person who is worthy of meditation? It is Krishna, because he possesses everything and he is the rightful person to think upon and meditate upon. Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid yatati siddhaye yatataamapi siddhanam kaschinmam veti tatvatah. Out of many thousands among men, one may endeavor for perfection, and for of those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows me in truth. So this is a very important verse, because just like that, people cannot accept Krishna as a supreme personality of Godhead. They have to definitely have some credits in the sense they should have overcome some of their pious and impious things. Okay, it's not very easy. If we go and talk to some person, it's not very easy they accept it. They will say, who are you? And we will get a lot of feedbacks. So Krishna is giving the answers to them, that Manushyanam sahasreshu, of thousands of men, okay, who endeavor for perfection, who perfection in the sense through other yoga process also, Krishna is accounting that. Out of thousands of men who is offering for perfection, only who have achieved, and those who have achieved, hardly one knows me in truth. Even when they have achieved the perfection, it's not that they was able to realize the Supreme God. They really need to have that good credits, what we called as Sukruti. So that is very important. And Sukruti is given by whom? Sukruti is actually given by the devotees. It is elaborately established in one of the books by Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Bhakti Vinod Thakur is one of our Parampara Acharya. Okay, he is the father of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur is the Guru Maharaj of Srila Prabhupada. Okay, so Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written 2 books, Jaiva Dharma and also Madhurya Kadambari. In both the books, he would have elaborately described that how do we get the Sukriti? We get Sukriti only through the devotees, through the mercy of devotees. Guru, and even in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Mahaprabhu had have said, Guru Krishna Pai Bhakti Lata Beej. Okay, through the mercy of Guru and Krishna, one gets this Bhakti Beej. Okay, because devotees are so merciful. That's why association is very important. Okay, devotee association is very important. And what do we gain through devotee association? Through them only we get this Sukriti. They'll feel pity. They will feel, oh, why can't these people take it up? And that's how our Sukriti balance will increase. So you are all attending this session. Definitely you would have got some Sukriti, or else you wouldn't have been here listening to what we are discussing. Other people can't even digest what we are trying to say. If you are able to sit through this class and then accept what we are discussing, which means you've definitely got some Sukriti. My only request is keep continuing and then keep adding more so that we reach the perfection of human life. So Krishna is going to tell about rarely men achieve perfection. Out of perfected souls, rarely someone understands Krishna. Okay, there are different grades of men. They generally interested in animal propensities. There are 2 kinds of men. Who are they? One is people who are interested in animal propensities. What is that? Ahara, Nidra, Bhaya, Maitunam cha. Okay, and other who are interested in transcendental. Okay, there is something more than this. Yesterday I ate, today I ate, tomorrow also I'm going to eat. Okay, so what different am I making? So that person will try to think beyond. Okay, who am I? Why I am here? So some definitely you will all have this question, some at least in some point, even if you're not thinking about it right now, definitely you would have had this question in some point of your lifetime. Only that would have triggered you to attend all these sessions, at least. Okay, so keep moving forward. That's why in one of the lectures, one of the senior devotees was trying to say, it might seem like very difficult process. Okay, it is like entering the tunnel. Okay, we know that this is the good process. So we would have, just like entering the tunnel, we would have entered the tunnel thinking that we will go out of the tunnel, and we wanted to see how this get through out of the tunnel. But after entering halfway, we would have a doubt. Oh, did I make a right choice? Should I go back? My friends are over there. They are calling me. They are having fun there. But I know once I get out of the tunnel, there is something even better waiting for me. But this passage of which is still dark in the tunnel, right? I would be in confusion. Sorry. So I will think, did I make a right choice? Do I have to go back at that time? Who can help us? The devotee association can help us. What we have to do? We just have to keep moving forward, holding hand in hand with devotees, and then just get through the end of the tunnel. Once we get to the end of the tunnel, something big is awaiting us. So similarly, you have all accepted this. You have all come through all this way. Just keep moving. Don't have any hesitation. Krishna is always there. If you are able to sit through this, it's all the mercy of Krishna and also the devotees. So everybody is there. Just keep going and moving forward. And chapter 1 to 6 is understanding the self, super soul, and process of realization. Difference between yoga and matter. We saw Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, and everything. And transcendental knowledge is understanding Krishna. What is that? Understanding Krishna is a cause of all cause, supreme personality of Godhead, and all 6 opulence in full. Can only be known by a process of Krishna consciousness engaged in devotional service. Process of bhakti is not easy to practice as proclaimed by impersonalists. They think that, oh, you are just sitting and meditating and then doing something. They might argue. They think that it can be an easy process. The process is easy, but it is so sublime, right? It is very difficult. Every day we have to sit through this chanting. Every day we have to read the scriptures. Every day we have to keep doing what we are doing. Okay, though it might seem when compared to Dhyana Yoga and Jnana Yoga, Bhakti process is very, very, very simple. Okay, but at the same time, what the Acharya say is, Krishna consciousness is simple for simple person. Whether if he is a complicated, then it is a difficult process. So that is how this process of devotional service is. And so devotional service, just by reading all these books, we can't get through. These are all some, we can sit and then learn the knowledge. We can sit and through and then gain the knowledge from the Vedas. But what do we get the understanding? Are we really getting the right understanding from the Vedas? That we have to see. Okay. Knowing, moving on to next session, knowing Krishna as the source of both material and spiritual energies. Bhumirapo nalo vayu kammano buddhirevacha ahankara iti yamme bhinna prakritirashtadam. So Krishna, what did he say? He is going to tell about knowledge, transcendental knowledge, okay, soul, super soul, and he also saw that he is going to explain about the phenomenal and the numinous knowledge, Vijnanam, right? So that's what is that all about, Vijnanam? So Krishna is explaining it here. This is a very important sloka. It will keep coming in multiple other levels. Even if we go, there will be always a reference, because Krishna says earth, water, fire, air, ether, the Pancha Mahabhuta, correct? We also know that our body is also made up of Pancha Mahabhuta, correct? What does that mean? This Panchamahuta plus mind, intelligence, and false ego, all together, these 8 constitute my separated material energies. So all these things are none other than the material energies of Krishna. Can we think of some object which is not composed of anything of this? It will be very hard. In this material world, if we take any object, say I am picking a flute, okay? Flute is made up of wood. And wood, how does the wood come? From a tree. And whereas the tree goes from the ground, okay? Ground, earth. So we can relate to everything. So we can pick an object, we will be able to put into the category whether it belongs to earth, water, fire, air, ether. Okay. So whatever we possess, whatever we think it is ours, everything is made up of, anything that is material is made up of this material energy. And this material energy is none other than energy of Krishna. There are 3 energies which is called as Antaranga Shakti, Bahiranga Shakti, and Tatastha Shakti. Okay, Antaranga Shakti, Krishna has 3 energies. We will read it when we go to the next level, but just giving an overview. Antaranga Shakti is called as internal energy. Okay, internal energy is where the Yoga Maya and the Haladini Shakti, everything that comes into it, they are very close to Krishna. And opposite to internal is external. That is the Bahiranga Shakti. This material energy is one of the external energies of the Supreme Lord. And who is the proprietor of this external energy? It's Mahamaya. Okay. And the Tatastha Shakti, the marginal energy. Who falls into this category? We, the conditioned souls, falls into this category. We are the marginal energies. What does that marginal energy means? We lie in between. Between who? Internal energy and the external energy. And why it is called Tatashta? Because it is very, because we are in middle, we can either switch to the internal, like have some affinity towards the internal energy, or we can have affinity towards the external energy. Right now, what we are doing, well, we have affinity towards the external energy. For us, the external energy is so, we see beautiful things, we see good scenery, good lake, anything that captizes us. We are so fascinated by it. And that's why we still want to come back to this material world again and again, because we always have this unsatisfied, it is there, oh, I didn't do that, I didn't do this. But one day we have to understand, this is what the Sankhya philosophy is all about. What they do, they try to disseminate everything, and then they say, oh, this is matter, this is matter, this is matter, this is matter. They try to disseminate everything. And matter is not related to the supreme absolute truth, so I will not associate with matter. But there is a little difference between the Sankhya philosophy and the Bhakti Yoga, which we are trying to follow, because we don't decline that it's not a matter. Definitely, yes, it is a matter. But how do we associate? We associate, okay, this matter is also the external energy, one of the material energy of whom? My Krishna. none other than. So it belongs to my Krishna. It's my energy of the Krishna. So I try to associate. So if I have a good food, I try to offer it to Krishna. If I get a new cloth, first try to offer it to Krishna. So we try to have Krishna at the center and we try to associate everything. This is called as Yukta Vairagya. Like whatever we possess, we try to use in the service of the Lord. So that is the difference between how the Sankhya philosophy is different from the Bhakti philosophy. We don't deny the fact that this is not a matter. We accept it as a matter and we accepted this as temporary. So always we try to earn for something permanent. What is a permanent thing? It's the Lord's abode is a permanent thing. अपरेमितस्तन्यां प्रकृतिं विद्धि मे परां जीवभूतमहाबाहो ययेदं धार्यते जगत्. This is also an important verse. Here it says, besides this, O mighty Arjuna, there is another superior energy of mind which comprises of living entities who are exploiting the resource of this material inferior energy nature. So who are these living entities? We, the conditioned souls. And what are we doing? We are trying to exploit. So what is this Krishna says here? You know what? These living entities, okay, they are superior when compared to this material energy. But they don't have this understanding, but they are trying to exploit this resource. And which resource? This material energy, which are inferior in nature. Okay, so once someone come to an understanding that, oh, okay, I am actually in superior when compared to this material thing. So why do I have to fall for this material thing? So it's very important. So Krishna is giving an understanding that, you know what, this marginal energy is actually a superior thing, and that should not control rather than try to use it effectively. All created beings, they have their source in these two natures, right? Like I said, if we take anything, we can put into either of these categories. Of all that is material and all that is spiritual in this world, know for certain that I am both the origin and the dissolution. So what does Krishna is trying to say? Whatever it is either spiritual or material, know that I am the origin and also the dissolution. So I am cause of all causes. So it's trying to explain Krishna, okay, has a plenary expands into plenary expansions, whose are the Purushartha expansion, which is Karnodakshay Vishnu or the Mahavishnu. And yesterday, in one of the recap session, we saw that in chapter 5 concluded with verse Bhoktaram Yajnatapasam, and it was also having the picture of Karnodakshay Vishnu, that's Mahavishnu, lying on the ocean, and then from his body pores so many universes came, right? That is the picture of Karnodakshay Vishnu. And what does he do? He create multiple universe. How? Just by sleeping. Have we know anybody who can do something useful when they are sleeping? When we are sleeping, we will just waste the energy. We will just do something else. But only the Supreme Lord can do something productive, and when he is sleeping. And when he is sleeping, what happens? From the pores, the multiple universes come. And what happens in the multiple universe? Even in order for, it is clearly explained in Bhagavatam. When we go to there, we will understand. These are called as the primary creations. Okay, Karnadakshay Vishnu. I will see if we have time when we are doing chapter 13. I will see how we are progressing. If we have time, I will briefly elaborate on what is this primary creation and the secondary creations all constitute about. Okay. And once the universe is formed, it has been explained that everything, it had all the materials in it, but the universe did not become functional. So in order for universe to become functional, Krishna entered again as a Garbhodakshay Vishnu. Okay, and in the Garbhodakshay Vishnu, he entered and it started becoming functional. And even for atom, okay, even in teeny tiny atom. So who is there in our heart? We say Krishna is there in our heart, right? So Krishna is there in our heart as a plenary portion named as Kshirodakshay Vishnu. He is the Paramatma. So, in the Paramatma feature of the Lord is the Kshirodakshay Vishnu. Not only in us, in every living entity, even in tiny atom, okay, Krishna is there. Even if I have to take, in order for a salt to behave like a salt or a sugar to behave like a sugar, there it needs an atom, right? Even in that atom, the Krishna is there. So everything is made up of Krishna's energy. Okay. What does Karnadakshay do? He creates the material energy, Mahat Tattva, enters into universe and enters into every atom to maintain super soul, like we discussed. Do not know Krishna. Whoever doesn't know Krishna, but whoever does not have all this knowledge, he thinks material world is for enjoyment of living entity. How many times have we heard this statement? It's one life, let's enjoy to the best. We don't know. They are not worried about next life or even anything else. They say one life, let's have fun. So they wanted to exploit those people. What Krishna saying, those people are the one who is exploiting this inferior energy. The living entities are Purusha. Okay. He's a cause, controller, enjoyer of the material energy. Bhoktaram, Yajna Tapasam, Sarvaloka Maheshwara. Okay. It is clearly explained as when we go to chapter 13, it will be clearly explained how this universe are formed. If we have time, I will definitely go over just to give a brief. Now it will be too early to have that understanding. But if we go to, when we go to chapter 13, when we are doing this verse, I will try to show up how this material universe is being formed and what are all this. Okay. This apare, Bhumi Rapo Nalo Vayu, we saw in text 4, right? Krishna said, those earth, water, fire, air, ether, these are all called as five gross element, that is Pancha Mahabhut. Okay. And there is subtle elements, mind, intelligence, and false ego. And towards everything comprises of this Mahatattva. Okay. So everything is, all this is the, what did we saw in text 4? These are all the external energy of the Lord. So mind into subtle energy, and the subtle elements and the gross elements are the external energies of the Lord. Who are we? The conditioned souls. We are the superior energy of the Lord. Okay. So we should understand. So I am trying to lord over this inferior thing. So as a superior, we have to try to move forward, not look downward. Besides inferior energy, superior energy. Okay, like we said, superior energy is the supreme. Krishna's energy, Shakti. Okay, like I said, Antaranga Shakti, Tatastha Shakti, and Bahiranga Shakti. We saw this, and Bahiranga Shakti is form of material world. Material world is nothing but the gross and the subtle. And Jiva, he is trying to exploit this material world, this gross and subtle. So this just explains what we just went through. Okay, and what does the liberation means? Free from the material illusions. Means I and mine. This is my house. This is my people. This is my property. Everything we see. So liberation is being free from. Why does we say the Krishna conscious person, even when he is living in the material world, he is liberated? Because he will understand these are all the elements of material energy, and he will come to a conclusion that I should not enjoy. And when he starts to use these items for the service of the Supreme Lord, then he will come to he is said to be in a liberated stage, because he understands his position. His position is a servitor of the Lord, and whatever the material energy he has, he will try to use for the service of the Lord. So when he is having this understanding, that person is considered to be a liberated person. Liberation doesn't mean we go out of this world and then go into oblivion. No. Bhakti process is very simple and very sublime. Okay. Going forward, Krishna is saying, Matta parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya mayi sarvamidam proktam sutre manigana iva. So it's very important. There are many slokas in this chapter which are very, very important going forward, because Krishna is explaining more about him, right? starting from this chapter. So this is another key important verse. Oh, the conqueror of wealth, Dhananjaya. Okay, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on the thread. Okay, what does it mean? So if we see this pearl garland, what do we see actually? Pearls. And what is not obvious is the string that is connecting one pearl and the other pearl. So what does Krishna says? You know what? Everything in this universe is resting upon me. But it is not obvious. So directly somebody will say, Prabhupada used to say, you are, okay, show me God. Okay, Prabhupada said, do you have the capability to see the God even somewhere far distance? Okay, if something so effulgence comes in center, say if it is a bright light comes in front of you, for a second we close our eyes, correct? Because that is too bright, our eyes cannot hold till we close our eyes. But who is Krishna? He is the source of this Brahman effulgence. Okay, do you have the power to see the God? Okay, Prabhupada said, do you have the power to see the God? You can't identify. So don't tell me and ask me, can you see God? First, do you have the capability or the qualification to see the God? So we might argue, where is God? It's not obvious, but whatever that is resting upon, everything is resting upon on Krishna. That's what Krishna is trying to say here. And Krishna is going to explain how. Okay, see, now until now he said this material energy and superior energy both belongs to him, and now he said how does like how do we know that even the material energy is also resting upon, because he says everything is resting upon him, right? How everything is resting upon him, Krishna is going to elaborate. He is going to describe the all the opulence. Okay, and he says he is the taste and water, and he is the light in moon and sun, and he is of the Vedic mantras, he is the mantra Om. Of ether he is sound, and a man he is the ability, and for earth he is a fragrance, and in the fire he is the heat. All that lives, he is the life. Okay, when you take away the life soul, nothing remains. So all that lives, anything that lives, he is the life. All aesthetics, he is a penance. So penance is the basic of any aesthetic, right? So he is the penance. Of all existence, he is the original seed. He is a seed giving father. Bij, aham bija pratapita. So Krishna says, aham bija pratapita. He is the original seed giving father. And for intelligence, he is the intelligence. All powerful men, he is the powers. The strong, devoid of passion and ignorance, he is the strength. And not any snakes that is not contrary to the religious principle is that. So Krishna is saying, we can't see. When we taste the water, how many times have we realized we have also tasted some water which we can't even have one gulp, correct? Which means Krishna is not there in that water. So anything that taste of water, he is the taste. And can we think of something that we can cook without water? Water is very ingredient, right? Even we say in our whole body, 3/4 of our body is made up of water. And even in this universe, it is 3/4 of the water, only 1/4. So of water, he is a taste. So Krishna is trying to give, how does he represent in all these things? Okay. And know that all states of being, be they of goodness, passion, and ignorance, are manifested by my energy. I am in one sense everything, but I am independent. I am not under the modes of material nature, for they, on the contrary, are within me. So Krishna is trying to substantiate here. Oh, okay. We know that we have heard so many times, right? Material energy means it is made up of three gunas, sattva, rajas, and tamas. And now you say that material energy is one of the energy for you. Does it mean that you are also coming under this modes of material nature? So Krishna is trying to explain, give an answer for this. You know what? I am not under the modes of material nature. On contrary, they are under me. They are all my manifested energy. So we have seen this, right? The three puppeteers, they control this conditioned soul. Who are they? This material modes of energy, sattva, rajas, tamas. But who controls them? It is the Supreme Lord. So everybody comes under his control. So Krishna is called as, Krishna is the origin of modes, not within the modes, and therefore he is Nirguna. So Krishna is called as Nirguna. But the different school of thought, they interpret Nirguna in a different way, as if there is no guna. So he does not have any guna, means he is formless. Nirguna means it's not like he is formless. Krishna has a personal form. Even in Upanishad, Svetashwara Upanishad, it has been clearly established, like supreme truth is a Purusha. Okay. I'll try to get that verse. So supreme truth is a Purusha. And if it Purusha means, then he has a personal form. So, but some different school of thoughts, they interpret this in different way. But here, Krishna, what he is trying to say is, he is Nirguna, means he is not affected by any of the three modes. Okay. All material activities are conducted under the three modes. These three modes emanate from the Supreme Lord, and he is not subordinate to them. Analogy. So, if we have to compare this Krishna statement with our day-to-day life, we can see that a king or a lawmaker, he can make many rules, okay? But he is not a king who has imposed the rule. He is not subjected to the rules, because everything is his kingdom. He is free to live as he is. Similarly, Krishna is free. Everything is his. Everything belongs to Krishna. So he is free to do whatever he wants. He is not subjected to these three modes of material nature. Okay. Deluded by three modes, goodness, passion, and ignorance, the whole world does not know me, who I am, above the modes of inexhaustible. And this is another important verse. Daivi hesha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mameva ye prapatyante maya metam tarantite. This divine energy of mind, which is that this material energy, just became, yes, it is an inferior energy, but from where this inferior energy came from? It came from Krishna. So anything that came from Krishna is divine. Okay. So this divine energy of mind, consisting of three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome. Yes, it is very, very difficult to overcome. But those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. Okay. Just you have seen this picture multiple times, right? Alone, we can't do. But once surrendered, we will be able to do. Okay. And one Krishna is ready, just like the way if we are trying to sustain in a wavy ocean, right? How can we come? Even an expert swimmer, if he is in a ocean, he can't try to come out of his own. How can we save that person? Somebody has to airlift him. And who is doing the process in this? So here, Krishna will come and then just lift us. In that case, we will be able to overcome. Or else just by our own endeavor, oh, it is, I know what to do, I can do of it more. Just by our own endeavor, it is not possible. So one of the senior devotees were trying to explain this, which just came to my thought, just sharing what I've heard. So just consider that there is a boxing match, okay? And we are fighting with whom? With a Herculean man who is strong, well-built, okay? And who are we? Teeny tiny soul. With whatever energy we have, we are trying to fight against that Herculean weight bodybuilder, okay? And we can fight multiple times, okay? Say, and who is the person who is give us the conclusion or the results? It's the referee. So say we have to just compare that. This bodybuilder is nothing but this material nature, because Krishna says mama maya duratyaya. Okay. So Krishna says it's my energy. How can we fight with Krishna's energy? We don't have that power at all. We can't fight with Krishna's energy. What we can do? We can keep fighting, okay? And how does the referee decide? It's all the decision of a referee. And who is the referee here? It is a Krishna. Say we fight and with this bodybuilder and we lie down, okay? And then we fall down, for example. And somehow we try to raise up and then we fight again and we fall down. But finally, it's referee, it is towards his discretion whether to announce who was the winner, okay? We have seen many matches like this, right? Not always, sometimes he has given chance even to this other person, correct? So similarly, we never know how Krishna is going to make the decision. What we have to do, we have to keep doing what we have to do. That is all we have to do, trusting Supreme Lord. And it's Krishna's decision. One day, even though we lose the match, it doesn't matter, because who is the referee? Krishna is the referee. He will see how we fought. But he is not going to see whether we are raising up again and again, how we fought, how was our endeavor. Krishna will see and then give the results. So Krishna explains how to get free from the modes. So we are bound by Maya. So we are called as Nityabadha. Nityabadha is eternally bound, and it is very difficult to overcome. Okay, because divine energy, material energy is called so because of divine connection and movement by divine will. Okay, and they are just trying to explain what we saw in that picture. So Krishna is saying this divine energy is his energy, and it is being and it has a rope as guna as a rope. Only Krishna or his bona fide representative can rescue one. Just we saw that airlift. Devotional service can help one gain release. Krishna, out of paternal affection for his devotees, can order his energy to release the conditioned souls. And we are called as Nityabadha. What does this mean? We are eternally compound. No one can trace the history of being conditioned. We don't know. This might be too early, but in Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, in one of his book, Jaiva Dharma, he has elaborately explained. There are many chapters. Okay. He has elaborately explained about this condition of your Nitya Baddha and Nitya Siddha. Okay. But we have to go through all these some levels. We have to get the basic understanding. And once we read that, whenever you are ready, Krishna will pave a way. Don't worry. At that time, when you read that book, you will come to understand like why it has been said as conditioned souls are called Nityabadha. And what does it mean? We are eternally bound. And how can we come out of this bond? Only if we surrender. And how can we get free from Maya? Mamevaye prapadyante. Only surrender to Krishna can help us. So this is what the chapter 7 verse 14 talks about. So this is another important verse. So how can we come out from the clutches of the Maya? Only by surrendering to the Supreme Lord, because it is his energy. Correct? So if it is his energy, only whoever has an authority, he can give us the right verdict. We can't take the prediction in our own hand. So starting here, it will enter into a different new discussion. So what we do is at this time, we pause and see if there are